What is up, everybody? I'm Sean.
And I'm Tom.
And
And we're the
the
Block
Block
Bros.
Bros. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
Um, it's been like a week, 2 weeks. I don't even. How long has it been? 2, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think we've missed a couple weeks here.
That was fully my fault. Sorry, guys. I am a little baby bitch with a bad immune system, and I got baby bitch bronchitis, and I was sick for like 3 weeks straight on my deathbed, essentially. So that's why we've been gone. But we appreciate your patience while we were gone. We are back now, and we should continue to be back until I'm dying again. So, with that being said, Tom, did you do anything fun over the last 3 weeks?
I mean, been pretty much shut in, That nice Minnesota winter is starting to set in now, it's getting colder, so I'm starting to build all my fucking Lego sets that I hoard during the summer months to like build during the winter.
I saw that.
Yeah, fuck, dude. The amount of click clack I learned is in different languages. By the way, apparently not every language says click. Some say click A, some say click click. So just letting you all know, like according to instructions. Like,
good to know.
but
Did
yeah,
you do anything else over the last 3 weeks?
No, it's been pretty low key. We've just been pretty much playing that new Fortnite season.
Oh
That's
yeah,
been
yeah.
that's been our jam this past like 2 weeks, like that's all I've been fucking doing.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing I could accomplish when I was dying was winning Fortnite. That's pretty much the only thing I could make myself do for the last 3 weeks. But other than that, I've been sick, and then I've been trying to get better, and I haven't even been streaming. Like, I've been so sick. And then I ended up doing something that I've been waiting to do for a long time, which was go to an Armored Combat League tournament and get involved with that. So that was really cool. If you don't know what Armored Combat League is, look it up. It's just men in suits, well, men and women actually in suits of armor, literally fighting each other with weapons. It was so cool, and I'm trying to get involved in that right now. So that's what I've been up to, and really been enjoying that. But other than that, just sick and watching knights smash each other.
Yeah, pretty sure it was like the most brutal thing I've ever seen, like in my life. It's about the closest thing you get to like real life gladiator fights is someone like not killing the other person. So
yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. I got to go out to a bar with the knights afterwards and drink, and I'm actually not to toot my own horn, but I'm meeting up with them in the next couple of weeks to try my hand at it and see if I want to jump in and start doing that more full time. So that's something I'm excited to do. But if you're watching us live right now, you may be looking at the screen and being like, something's different. These guys seem way cooler right now than normal, and that's obviously because we're wearing sunglasses, both of us.
Yeah.
But Tom, why are we wearing sunglasses, Tom? Why are we wearing sunglasses right now?
Because we are talking about Broforce!
Broforce! So that's right. The Block Bros are talking about the infamous run and gun platformer, all-American Broforce.
Yeah. If y'all haven't heard of this game, this is the most American game ever created. Like,
so we figured we'd spice it up a little bit by throwing some flair into the mix, and it's actually pretty hard to see my screen with these sunglasses on. So if I fuck anything up, sorry about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, really dark in this nicely dim room with my sunglasses basically pitch black in here, but whatever.
Yeah, Tom's wearing his coveted pit vipers.
Oh yeah, like these
are you? I can't even tell.
Oh yeah, no, these are my straight up pits, like fucking
nice.
The straight up douchiest sunglasses you can buy on the market right now.
I look like a fucking cop in these aviators, bro.
Yeah, you're like going up to fucking kids. You got any of that? That swag. The what?
Yeah, you guys smoking that swag tonight? But no, we're talking about Broforce tonight on the podcast. I guess I could take the intro for it. So Broforce, everybody. Broforce is a run and gun style 2D platformer developed by Free Life, and I'm trying to read, but it's really dark. So if I fuck something up, I'm sorry. Published by Free Life, developed by Free Life and published by someone we all know and love is Devolver. We talk about a lot of Devolver games on the podcast.
Yep.
In the game, you take the character of the Bro, one of many different action heroes from a lot of 80 movies that you guys probably know about and remember. Beloved bros like John McClane, Indiana Brones, Rambro, Terminator, like those kind of things, and you get a lot of different kind of action hero bros along your journey. You collect them and save them from peril, and they join your quest. The game features level-based gameplay where everything in the game is destructible, so it allows you to blow everything up like every good action movie should. And it also allows over-the-top explosions and unique features with each bro. Each one has like their own abilities to blow shit up. It's really fun. And a lot of different end bosses as well. Development for Broforce came from Game Jam in April 2012 and continued developing by popular support because the game became a full game by October 2015. Sorry guys, we haven't done this for 3 weeks, so I'm gonna fuck up a lot. And also reading these is holy fuck, it's hard.
Right, yeah. Just rusty, working in the dark, whatever. We got this.
We're doing ourselves on purpose. I'm just like, dude, I better not look at like any porn or anything while we're fucking on this podcast because it'll just reflect in my cycle.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. People can
try something new.
Yeah, people can see what freaky stuff I'm into. Oh my god.
See if I can just like click something. Does it show up in my cycle?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I just looked up Elmo on fire.
Yeah.
Just to see if it showed up in my sunglasses.
It was perfect.
Anyways, what you got anything to add about the overview of Broforce before we move on to the storyline? This will probably be a shorter episode, guys, because we're stupid and didn't write a lot down.
Right. No, that's basically like the gist of Broforce. This is like just one big like fucking action nonsense packaged into a 2D platformer with a shitload of guns and bros to play as. It's a lot of fun,
Definitely. The easiest way that you could describe this game to someone who has never heard of it is literally just like 80s like movies, 80s action movies platformer. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to explain it. So with that being said, we can try to move into the storyline. I'm not saying there's a lot to it.
No.
Storyline.
And I'll throw up the art while you talk about the story time.
Right. All right. When evil and menacing forces threaten everything that you hold precious and dear, freedom, there's only one force we can call on and pretty much afford. The underfunded yet overpowered private military that absolutely devastates anything in its path. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna put the excessive and excessive force in this fucking people. Like, be prepared to eliminate anything that basically stands in your path. Any enemy, any terrorist. Just get ready for the bros. Unleash your absolutely devastating weapons in the name of freedom. This is, by the way, if you can't tell, this is the most American game ever made because you literally, at the end of every level, you just plant an American flag and get off on a helicopter while explosions go behind you.
Don't forget the sick, this will come up later, the sick glam rock guitar solo that plays in the background every time, too.
Oh, yeah.
It is the most American game you could possibly think of. You literally have to get to the chopper and blow shit up. Like, what else do you want about it? Also, I mean, we'll talk about this more later, but yeah, I'll just talk about it later. Don't worry about it. I'll bring it up when we get to it. But
it's like the Second Amendment if it was a video game. Like,
it's like the people that always talk about the Second Amendment if they were a video game.
Basically, oh my fucking god!
It's like a Republican's wet dream. I'm not gonna lie.
Basically, like, oh man, this game, like, you need a beer to play it. Like, when you log on, it's like, are you drinking? And it's like, if you answer no, they'll kick you off.
It comes with a free pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon, not sponsored. Straight up, like this game, it should anyways. That should be a marketing thing they do. But yeah, no, the storyline is basically what Tom said completely. Yeah, when evil threatens the world, they can call on the Broforce, and that's you. You're the Broforce, and you run and gun your way through hundreds of, I don't even know how many levels, a lot of destructible levels as bros. That's the
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah. And I'll put quotes like around evil because sometimes you'll like read like what you're doing in the levels and it's like, hey, that land isn't ours yet. And it's like, what? Or like there's some black stuff coming out of the ground. Invade. And I'm like, okay. That's kind of fucked for like I can't believe some of the but whatever.
But yeah, well, that's pretty much the storyline. So we can move on to the graphics, which is something I'm sure Tom has just been itching to talk about for the last 3 weeks. Tom, for everyone who doesn't know, Tom wrote this like 3 weeks ago before I was sick. So we've been planning this for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And every week I was like, still sick, still sick, still sick. So I'm sure
good.
he's just ready to get it done. But we're gonna talk about the graphics and the art now.
Graphics and art.
Where do you want to start on the graphics and art, Tam?
It's just pure pixel goodness, It's that perfect like 8-bit kind of style you're after in these kind of games. Like if you've played any kind of variation of like a Metal Slug game, that's basically what this game looks like, just even further along technologically. Like everything is constantly exploding. I don't know, the bullets look fucking great. Everything just screams pure nostalgia and awesomeness in this game. Like
I fully agree with what you're saying that everything is I think it's actually like 16-bit though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
When I looked it up, it said something about 16-bit. I don't know bits, but that's I think what it is. Everything's like 16-bit, like blocky, and classic looking like you're talking about. But I think the thing that really separates it that throws me off every time I play this game is the attention to detail on the little graphic stuff. Like, yeah, there's all of these massive explosions and they look really badass, but everything's pixelated. But then like when you get a new bro, there's also like this like cutscene that like goes across and it's like really well animated for some reason that shows the bro in like all their glory and like I don't know, it's just really interesting stuff. And also the little attention to detail with like the enemies, or even like when you're playing like Rambo, bro, how you can like, even though it's 16-bit and like we all know what bits look like, you can tell you're playing Rambo.
Yeah.
It's really cool. They did a really good job. All the animations are incredibly fluid, even with it being a pixelated game.
Yeah, like probably my favorite part about the graphics, like you said, you like seeing the little cutscenes. Like my personal favorite thing is like their little fucking heads in the corner. Like each one of them is constantly like making different faces and stuff depending on what you're doing, and like it's just perfectly like detailed. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger is like a perfect Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'll see every 80s action hero you could possibly imagine, in this game. So it's pure goodness, like visually wise. Yeah, the graphically wise, I think they're trying to go for like background, like a 2D rendition of Vietnam most of the time. Like, I don't know, gives me Tropic Thunder vibes,
Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it, like Tropic Thunder vibes for sure. Yeah. is how I would describe it too. It definitely feels like that. I would also say that it's just the animations are really well done. Like because this game is, if anything, the easiest way to describe this game is that it's absolutely chaotic. You could literally use the words directed by Michael Bay and it would fit this perfectly. Everything is exploding at all times, but nothing is like usually, in like pixel games when there's a lot of animation, things can look really muddy. All the explosions are super crisp. All the weapon shots are super crisp. Everything is very easy to tell what it is. It's almost like the pixelation was an afterthought. It's almost like they made the entire game and then just like added a pixelation over it. And we're like, yeah, now it looks even cooler.
Right.
Because like all the animations are like just crisp,
Yeah, no, everything definitely looks smooth, solid, pure goodness,
Pure goodness. We're professional podcasters.
Right.
Awesome. Well, you have anything else to add about the graphics and the art?
No, I think that about does it for that on my part. So
Awesome. Well, let's move on to sounds and music.
Sounds and music.
So the thing that I want to say most is that this has the most banging soundtrack of any game ever. Almost.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I wish I could play the sound on the podcast itself, but the program we're using doesn't allow us to do that. So just imagine like literally the most like 80s glam metal like Broforce, yeah, stuff going on with like
Yeah.
like crazy shit in the background, and that's what the soundtrack sounds like the entire time. It's phenomenal. It's so good. It's so cheesy. Like it's bad. It's really bad and really annoying, but it's also like perfect for the game itself.
Oh yeah. It's like every 80s like hairband got like meshed into like one fucking song. And like it's pure awesome. Like I don't know. It's just so fucking good. Like it just makes you want to just run, kill, and gun, which is good because that's the whole objective of this game. So
That's what the whole game is. And speaking of just like other sounds and music, because that's what this part is about. My favorite part, and I was gonna talk about this in the favorite part, but it comes up now first, is the announcer. The announcer is my favorite part of the entire game. I loved I streamed this game with my girlfriend. I know that she literally commented here. I threw up the comment earlier. There it is. She literally commented earlier and said, "Yeah, when we first started dating, we played this game together." And I was dying the entire time because like it's the funniest fucking voice I've ever heard in my life. Like it's like I can't even like do it justice, but it's like something happens and it's like when you pick up a new bro, he scrolls across the screen and has the animation where it shows the bro, and then the announcer says their name, and it has like an epic guitar solo. So you pick up like Ram Bro, and it's like Ram Bro.
right.
It's just it's funny as hell. I don't know why. Every time I never got sick of it, and I kept thinking I would, and I still don't. To be honest, I watched a video about this earlier, and I still thought it was funny. So maybe that's just me, but that was my favorite part, and it would happen to be a sound thing. So
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that is definitely good. The announcer just going like Indiana Brones, like when you fucking unlock them. Definitely makes it feel good to even unlock more bros because, just I don't know. I do definitely think the sound in this game matches just the perfect aesthetic,
yeah, because I feel like a lot of games that we've talked about, like they're hit or miss. Like you either have like this crazy good sound or no sound, and like this is crazy good. I will give that this is crazy good, and also like just like the sound effects, like the music is great. The soundtrack is great with all the guitar licks and 80s metal glam, but the actual sound effects of like explosions all the time, or like even when enemies die in this game, they just sound so pathetic. Like when they die, they're like, oh. I don't know. It's really funny and fitting, and you can tell that this game they had a lot of fun making it because it definitely does not take itself seriously. It's more about the memes than the actual game.
Oh yeah, the meme level is definitely high.
It's very well done though, because like even if it is just like a meme game, like it's still a really good game.
Yeah.
Awesome. Also, I see that you have written down someone's name under sounds and music. Did you know anything about that or?
I'm not really sure. I think that's just who made most of the sounds and music in this game. So
Gotcha. Dion Van Herdeen.
Here,
I don't know.
Here, there.
You there? Hey, oh bud, you there?
God.
we wrote this 3 weeks ago. Don't judge us, guys. All right, let's move on to features and content. Maybe if I could remember where that is. It's been a minute. Where are you?
Features and content.
All right, you want to start with features and content?
Yeah, like let's just pick up like where definitely like this game shines, and that is like all the bros in this. Like I absolutely love how many fucking bros they put into this thing. Like let me just Bromax, Brodator, Rambro, Double Bro 7, Bro Shetty, Bro Dread, Dirty Broy. Like there's a lot. Like that's like 5. There's like 70. I don't know.
Yeah, the pure amount of creativity that goes into not only like coming up with a bunch of different characters, giving them bro names, basing them on like literal pop culture or media, and then also giving each one individual abilities that are melee, gun wise, like just different things is its own just thing. Like we talk about games that have a lot of content, like this is a very niche form of that.
Yeah, like the fact that most of your content comes from unlocking different like 80s action heroes or action heroes in general, for the most part, just spread from that like generation is so cool, especially since like their iconic weapons are in there. Like when you're playing like Dirty Harry, you get his like 6-shooter, you know, and occasionally he'll fire 5 bullets instead of 6, which is a really niche actual thing if you've watched those movies. But like I love that each one gets their different, you know, weapons and whatnot, like Terminator, how you can get like the metal version of him and he gets like a minigun and stuff. It's like it's really cool. Or MacGyver throwing dynamite and using like plastic explosives and stuff that he makes. Like it's a nice little touch that they made, because they could have just given each one like a regular gun or something, but they're each so different and almost like intact with their role. That's so cool, you know?
Yeah, and this kind of expands onto a broader thing that I think we've talked about on the I almost said channel, on the podcast before, which is this is where indie games really live at, is like because people always complain like, oh man, like, you know, the gaming scene is so weak. There's nothing innovative. Nothing ever comes out. But there's so many niche little games like this, like where this is so niche and so well done, that based on 80s movie action heroes. Like crazy. You could do the same thing. We talk about this. I think, and we talked about it in Dead Cells and a couple other things, where you could do like you can make different platformers with different niches, and this is just a perfect example of that. Like, because it is a platformer and it is a run and gun, but it's so incredibly unique and interesting and totally like the right person is gonna love this game. You know what I mean? And I think that's not talked about or credited enough in the gaming scene, because most people just talk about like Call of Duty.
Yeah. That is true. Like,
That was just
especially
a
right
partial
now.
rant. Sorry, that was just a partial rant that I had to go on, because I've been seeing. I literally this week when I was sick, I saw like 5 posts how like a bunch of pro streamers were like, the gaming scene fucking sucks, and I'm like, just play something else. There's
Right.
millions of other things.
Right. You know what? If you play Call of Duty, play this game. You'll actually probably enjoy this one out of every indie game we've talked about, because, well,
Yeah, for once.
basically, you know, shove it in 2D world and put a shitload more explosions, you know. Drink a beer, play this game, you'll have a good time. Like,
Definitely. Did you have a favorite bro offhand? 'Cause we were talking about the bros.
oh my gosh, here, hold on. Let me see. Probably Bro in Black, honestly, you know,
That's a
like,
good one, yeah.
yeah.
That's a
He
great
full
one.
on gets like the midget cricket gun and like just fucking fires like a huge blast, and he fucking flies backwards too. Just so classic to like the Men in Black. And he gets the little forget ray and makes everybody blind for a sec. It's nice and iconic to that. Like, I really thought that was a cool addition.
I liked Braid, which is
Yeah.
Blade, but bro, it's just
Yeah.
Blade. You just get
That
like
was-
a sword.
That was a close second to me. Yeah.
And
Also,
I just love how
another-
they didn't fully try. They were just like Braid works.
Right. Braid, yeah. Oh fuck. All right, Ellen Ripbro is in here.
Oh yeah, Ellen Ripper's pretty good too. Yeah,
Yep.
just like memes, so many memes.
Yep. I think I mentioned Indiana Brones, you know, like, I mean, there's so many. Bronin the Brobarian. Like,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
like, there's so many good bros to unlock in this, like, honestly.
And just the fact that, again, that they're all unique, like they all have their own abilities that are different from every other bro and affect the game differently. Yeah, I mean, okay, affect the game differently is kind of a stretch. They all blow up stuff differently.
Yeah.
Because
You know.
that's most of the game. It's just blowing up shit.
Right, yeah. You will definitely care for a few, and I think out of all of them, like, my least favorite one was the MacGyver one, because
Oh
throwing
yeah, I didn't
dynamite
like him.
is so hard in this game comparatively to every other play style. Just
Yeah, like and then it has like a timer on it, so like sometimes like it would take a while to blow up.
mm-hmm.
Just it felt really weird, but that was like it fits with the MacGyver kind of vibe. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah. Awesome. Well, another thing that features and content I want to talk about, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. Pretty much the whole things are hand in hand. It is everything in this game is incredibly over the top all the time. Everything is extra. There's not a single moment in this game where like you shoot a gun once and then literally everything explodes. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so extra all the time, and that includes the sound, the music, the graphics, the characters, the plot. Everything is extra, and they didn't have to. They didn't have to go that hard. They didn't have to go that hard, but they did for this.
Yeah. It's like one of those games where you just happen to see propane tanks literally fucking everywhere. Like, I don't know what is with bad guys and literally just keeping like tanks of fucking fuel just like out and about, like in perfect places for you to get blown the fuck up. But, action,
The requirement, like they have like a bad guy in camp inspection where like an inspector has to come in and be like, "Nah, need more open propane tanks. Come on, bring them in." Sorry, this won't do.
You guys
Not
can't
up
have
to
a big
code.
enough explosion, it wouldn't be fair. Like,
It's not up to code. We need one guy to come in here and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Get dumb. But no,
But
yeah,
yeah.
everything's over the top all the time, and that includes characters, levels, sounds, music, everything. I really could not be more specific. The whole game is extra, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it for it.
Yeah, it is so extra that one time I caused too many explosions and my game literally just started freaking the fuck out. Like, I was playing on my Switch, right? And I'm just like, I fill the whole screen with explosions, and literally my Switch just starts vibrating so hard, and I can just hear the game just freeze a little bit and go, and I'm like, oh god. Like, you're so
no.
extra, you almost blew up my Switch, like, fucking.
That would have been. That's how you know it's a good game if your Switch explodes.
Yeah, basically so many explosions in the game that almost translated outside. Like,
I think that I mean that's another thing that this leads me to, because like this game has capabilities to play with multiple people. Like you can have your friends play with you and stuff too. And I even played it with my girlfriend. Like it was a lot of fun. But with playing with other people, it does make the game incredibly chaotic. Like just so like there's so many explosions. Like even when you play solo, there's a million explosions. So you add more people, it adds more explosions, and every part of the stage is destructible. So like everything is blowing up at all times. So that being said, just a warning, it does cause some strain in relationships. We and my girlfriend were playing it, and like we got each other killed so many fucking times.
yeah.
So be wary. If you want to play it by yourself, it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, this game is. Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like a fun party game, though, at the same time, if you get like a whole bunch of people together and you just really don't care. Like, it's a fun one just to fuck around on,
Oh, it definitely is fun, but it can be frustrating. I'm saying for like a rage factor, just in case.
Yeah,
it can be a little frustrating with everything explode. It goes both ways. It's amazing that everything explodes, and it's also can be annoying that everything explodes.
yeah. I mean, the thing is like, okay, so I know I didn't mention it, but if you get hit once in this game, you die. It don't fucking matter what to. Like, fucking, that's the thing is like, so you can get multiple lives, right? Like, you find bros throughout the levels, that's your lives, right? But like, it don't matter what kind of bullet you take. If you take like one shot, no matter what, you die. Like, you don't have no health. Like, so that can be hard sometimes in levels when you just like get bombarded with enemies like that just will non-stop shoot at you, like coming up ladders and shit. Like, so that's when we're like, yeah, this game gets a little bit hard. Is like, yeah, it's because you can just die to like a random bullshit bullet all the time.
Yeah, I agree to that completely. But that also brings up the other point of like Tom was saying, the way that you get your lives is by freeing bros. And then the unique thing that I think or a unique thing that I think this game does is that it utilizes like a checkpoint system. So you get to a checkpoint, which is literally you put up an American flag, and if you die, you respawn as a random bro from that checkpoint. So it adds like a continuously ever changing like you'll never know what bro you're going to be able to play, and like that's really cool and interesting. It keeps the game feeling really fresh. But I just thought we'd explain that just in case if you didn't get that before, that you get a random bro at the checkpoint and you get what you get.
Yeah. Like sometimes you'll get exactly who you want, sometimes you definitely won't. Like and like I said, there's so many differences for like one like some bros shoot like 5 feet in front of them, and some they're like they can laser all the way across the screen. You know, it all
Yeah.
depends on God who you're playing. It can ramp up the difficulty so much or so little just based on who you're playing in this game all the time. You know.
I would say that I felt like this is just a personal thing. I don't even know if it counts towards the features and content stuff, but I feel like
Hmm.
the difficulty didn't fully change almost at all throughout the game. It really felt pretty much the same for me throughout the entire game, which is not usually something you can say about games. Like difficulty is a huge part of most games. For this game, it felt same or similar throughout the entire game. The only thing that changed was the bro you were playing, and even then,
Yeah.
the game kind of still felt the same, but like just how you did it was a little different to me, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of differences you're gonna face from like the first level to like the later levels. You know, like it just it's kind of like that same kind of feel, but it's a feeling that still never gets old. You know, like this is one of those games that I think is really good to play in like either like all the way through or almost in like short bursts, you know, like you had a bad day, you just want to fucking get a game where you can kill a whole bunch of dudes. This is perfect just to jam out for like an hour and just kill a whole bunch of people, run some levels that you know you're gonna fucking kill a whole bunch of people at and have a good time, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a more fun. I mean, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, and like that's the beauty of this game fully is that it's full on memes, but also it's really just a fun experience. Like there's no you can't really put a because usually like with these kind of games there's like other stuff that goes with it, like there's like a lot of skill involved or other shit like that. This is just literally a run and gun, like it's part of the genre is run and gun.
Yeah.
And it feels like that. It feels very freeing in a world full of so many like strategy platformers or roguelites. This is a gem because it's none of that. It's literally just exploding things and running.
Yep. You don't have to think, you just have to go and shoot and take out what's in front of you. And it succeeds very well in doing that. Like
Yeah, I fully agree with that completely. What's the next thing you want to talk about?
let's see here. I know we talked a little bit about multiplayer on that same subject, though. I just wanted to mention there is also a competitive deathmatch mode in this. So, like, if you really also want to have fun with your friends, like up to you and 4 people can not only play co-op, but you can like fuck around and just find out with each other. You know, like there's so many bros to pick from that you'll just have so much fun every time in deathmatch. You know.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. You said earlier that this would be a really fun party game for stuff like that, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Or even just playing the regular campaign. I mean, like I said, I played it on stream with my girlfriend, and it was so much fun. Like it was so
Right.
much fun. It was a blast. It was frustrating at times, but it was a blast most of the time. And that's right. I personally haven't played the death mode. I didn't even know there was a deathmatch mode, but kind of regret not playing it now. Maybe in the future. But there's
Right.
also a level building mode too. So like if you want to build levels in this game, you can, and you can share them with the community, and you can like I know at least on Steam you can just like go and download people's levels and play them. So that's also if you just get bored of the campaign, like it's a never ending thing. Has a good community as well as from what I can see. So
Yeah, it's a perfect game for like a level maker situation just because of how the levels are made and the destructiveness and the amount of stuff going with it. It is a perfectly level made game, you know.
I've definitely never really played a game where I made levels before, so I can't speak to that. But I know you played Mario Maker. I remember that. So
Yeah, this is like Mario Maker, except if Mario Maker had, you know, guns And yeah, basically just do Mario Maker but with guns. Like
that's the quote for the episode. There you go, guys. That intrigues you. Play the game. Mario Maker with guns.
God damn.
That's funny. That's really good.
Just the fucking like just straight up Mario Maker case like is on there, just like with a little bit of masking tape and like fucking Sharpie with guns. And people are like, what?
With guns. But yeah, and then another fun part of this game is that there is a lot of different enemy types. It goes through, and I mean, like, this may be spoiler, so if you don't want to hear spoiler, come back in a minute. But basically throughout the game it goes from being like generic terrorists to suddenly you're fighting aliens, and then later in the game you're fighting supernatural monsters. It's like they didn't just stick to one thing, which I appreciated as well, because like you in this game they could have just phoned it in and been like, terrorists, generic terrorists, good enough. But they were like, what if we just like get the aliens from Alien vs Predator in on this?
Yeah, like
So.
It is pretty cool how they changed up actually, what you fight over time, which was cool instead of just fighting the same. I mean, you are gonna fight like a lot of the same enemies over and over, but you don't really care. Everything dies in one hit anyway for the most part. So besides bosses, but
which we could talk about now. Good segue.
Yeah. And there is some weird ass bosses in here. Let's see. The first one you fight really isn't a boss, but you just see Satan, at the end of a level. He's just standing there by the flag like, hey, I'm Satan. And then you just shoot him in like one shot. He's dead. It's like, what the fuck? But like, there's some weird ones. I think there's like a giant bone worm, like a big ass hive, that's one.
I just remember helicopter. There was a helicopter. Like for some reason, it was just a helicopter.
Yeah, just okay. There's a straight helicopter, like a regular one, and then there's a helicopter, which is like just a dick-shaped helicopter.
Wait, really? I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, it's like in the later levels. It's like, oh, okay, so it's just a fucking helicopter shaped like a dick. Got it. Like, I'm like, that is it's quite the boss right there. But yeah, it's a weird plethora of bosses. Like, okay, giant ass worm, Sky Fortress, helicopter, Satan. Like,
yeah, it feels very.
What?
yeah. It's like one of the only things about this game that I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, this makes zero sense.
Like, y'all pick so many 80s action heroes and whatnot, and y'all are like, I don't know. Do we have any crazy ass 80s action villains? I don't know. Satan. What, Greg? Satan.
Okay,
the big old thing from Alien. No. God.
It's only Satan. But yeah, no, that is the one thing. Oh, the only thing about this game that I ever questioned was literally just the bosses was a little weird. The rest of the game makes perfect sense, but the bosses I didn't understand.
No,
not that they were bad. I mean, it's like they have the same mechanics as pretty much every platformer boss. So
yeah, it's a weird handful of like bosses and whatnot. I can like understand the kind of giant worm because I'm like, okay, maybe Tremors-esque, but like everything else I'm like, what are y'all fighting? Like, God.
It's not bad by any means, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's just it was definitely a weird way to pick bosses. I don't know, like
maybe they just drew them out of a hat. They're like, fuck it, I don't know.
I think so. It's like everybody in the office was like, I don't know, write down 5 bosses that you think, and it doesn't matter. Well, what kind of bosses should it be? Whatever, anything, grandma. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Did someone literally put Harry Potter in here? So put your name into the goblet of
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, it's a weird assortment, is what we're trying to say. Honestly, I think the last thing that we need to cover here in features and content, like we said, it's gonna be a short episode, guys, is it's just that this game is pardon my French, America as fuck.
Yeah, very America. if
Yeah.
you will.
Like we were talking about, it's like the sorry, I saw one of the bosses and I remembered the name and I remembered how they said it and it made me
Yeah.
Cannon taking care of the new heights. Just that's what it sounds like when he announces things. But no, it's America as fuck. It is the most American game ever. Like it is the stereotypical annoying ass dude on 4th of July American, but in the most corny meme way. In the
Yeah.
way that it doesn't actually take itself seriously and it's just that it's funny, like not in an annoying, like actual way.
Yeah. This game is like, light beer made a video game, and this was it. Like
Thomas is coming up with all the bangers for this fucking episode.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's like
Goddamn.
every time you buy this game, I swear they'd probably just I don't know. It feels like
they liberate another country every time you buy this game. I swear to God.
basically.
But like
Oh.
it literally screams like the most annoying parts of America, and it's memey and it's funny, but I understand that it may not be for everybody, especially in today's socioeconomic climate. But like when you finish it, even when you finish like an area, when you finish a stage, it literally says like area liberated on top, and then it shows you all the people you killed. Like it's very American
Yeah, like
in the worst ways.
man, I don't know how this game could possibly even get more America than it already is, honestly. Like, I don't know. I think it's really pushing as far as we can go with making it. Like,
It
when I
can make you
said,
do taxes afterwards.
yeah, no doubt. Is it more American to do or not do your taxes, though? That's the question.
Honestly, at this point, I don't know. But yeah, no, I think that covers all the features and content. Really, I mean, this is an easy game to talk about and an even easier game to play.
Yeah, there's like negative story in this game, honestly. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to movement and controls.
Movement and controls.
It's just basically a 2D platform, and we've talked about a lot about 2D platformers on this game. So think of your Dead Cells, your what else we talked about on here? I can't remember another 2D platform. I'm blanking. What's another 2D platform that we talked about?
Ones we've personally talked about. Which one did you just mention? Sorry.
Dead Cells.
Oh, well, good question. Jesus Christ. I can't even think of our own podcast.
It's been so many weeks. Yeah, I'm pulling up the episode list right now. Another 2D platform. Well, not really a 2D platform, but Carrion has a similar movement system. Limbo, just like the usual stuff. The usual 2D platformers that Katana Zero, stuff like that. It's the same movement system as those kinds of games. The thing that really separates it, though, is the destructible elements of the game, which I think fits really into the movement category more than anything, because there's no right way. I mean, there's a way that you're a point in the level where you're supposed to get to the end of the level, but there's no right way to get there. You can totally blow holes into the ground and tunnel your way across the entire screen. You don't even have to touch anybody. You can blow everything up all the way there, or you could try to be sneaky. Like the movement is a huge part of this game that they did really, really well, because everything is destructible. That was the major thing I wanted to get out of the way. It's a 2D platformer, but everything is Michael Bayable.
Basically, like, you can blow up these levels so much you can accidentally fuck yourself out from getting to the end of it,
Yeah.
Which is honestly so much fun, because then you're just like, fuck it, kill yourself and restart again, because, they're not the longest levels, and you're going to have fun no matter how many times you honestly replay them most of the time, A couple little ragey ones in there, but for the most part, yeah, you're going to have an awesome time.
Definitely. I think the most fun time I ever had getting through a level was when I accidentally totally fucked myself. And so I just like tunneled into the ground really quick. I was playing the I think it was the Terminator with the machine gun, and I just jumped into the air and shot my way through the entire level backwards.
Yep, that's
Like
definitely a viable plan.
I was like, that's dumb, but it worked and I got through, so who cares?
Yep. Jetpack Joyride your way out of this, fuck it.
Straight up, yeah. It was like Jetpack Joyride. We're dating ourselves with that reference.
God damn.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely feels and plays like a 2D platformer mixed with a shooter, and it's really smooth. No complaints about the controls. I don't think, anyways.
No, me either. Honestly, it's nice and buttery 2D movement. Everywhere you expect to go when you move, that's exactly where you're gonna be. So you can't ask any more of a platformer than that.
Yeah, yeah, especially because like most platformers can be incredibly frustrating a lot of the time as well with some of their movements. But this one is, I mean, like not difficult at all, which is we're thankful for as people who play a lot of platformers. I think.
Yeah, like God, there are just some that the movement just infuriates me, but you're gonna have a nice buttery smooth experience. Like if you keep falling and fucking up, that one's on you on this game. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Not often would I agree with that, but I will with this one. It's really hard to truly fuck up all the time in this game. Especially just because everything's explodable, like we said. So,
yeah.
all right, let's move into closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts.
All right. Well, where would you put this on a replayability scale, Tom?
I mean, I think the replayability is there, not for like you're not gonna experience anything different, but I think it's replayable just for the sense of if you're like ever having like a bad day, you need to blow off some steam, or you just want a game where you can just literally just sit back, chill, and just have a cool fucking good time. It's a good game just to have installed, and you can just get back in, play for like 20-30 minutes, clear a few levels, and like de-stress, kill some fucking dudes, feel that fucking Murica, feeling like that's where the replayability is at. Not for like sitting down and solidly like replaying a game for like anything else, but I think it's there just to blow off. I'm glad to have it in my Steam library that I can open it up sometime and just clear a couple levels.
Definitely. I think I agree with you mostly. I think I haven't personally looked into the where you can create like download other people's levels, but I think that could add a lot more replayability. But for
Oh
me,
yeah.
I've definitely played this game all the way through at least 3 times. Just at various points, like over years, like not like I played it and then immediately played it again. Just like I played it and I was like, that could be fun to play again, and I could play it again. I think I'd recommend this on like a 4th of July playthrough would be kind of fun. I think I
Hell
might
yeah.
start doing that.
That'd be
But
pretty
I
dope.
think it definitely for the normal person could have 1 to 2 playthroughs easy. One for sure, two definitely because there's a large amount of bros, but like Tom said, it's the same game. But with that being said, at least once to twice, which I agree with.
Yeah. Like you're just gonna want to play this game again just for the sheer just craziness it gives off. Like it's some
It's
fun
very
vibes.
chaotic. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very chaotic. um, where would you put it on a fun factor?
Probably like nice solid like 8 on that, 7.5, 8, like it's a good time, just like I said, like what you see in this game is what you're after and it's what you're gonna get. So you already know if you're gonna get that feeling from it or not, I feel like just based on like just watching a bit of it. Like so you're already gonna tell if you're probably gonna like it or not. So I feel like it's right in that nice 8 range though for what you're seeing in front of you.
Definitely, I think I agree with Fuller that it's an 8 for fun. It's a lot of fun. It's memey. It's got everything that you probably like about running guns and platformers mixed with meme stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I'll give it an 8 for sure. Solid 8. Is there any games that it reminds you of?
Let me see here. I actually wasn't even thinking about games it was reminding me of. It gives me a lot of like basically, like, I've played Enter the Gungeon 2, and that's what it gives me vibes. It gives me a lot of Metal Slug vibes as well for old arcade machine cabinets, just a more updated version with a lot more vertical platforming and crazy characters you can play as, and a lot less eating up all of my quarters. So,
A specific amount of quarters.
yeah, shitload, because Metal Slug, if anyone remembers those games, was notorious for just killing you every 4 seconds. So,
Yeah, no, I understand. I think that this just can be related to any platformer, really. Any platformer or any run and gun. It could fit into either of those two categories really easy. Like Tom mentioned, Enter the Gungeon, that's bullet helly, and it reminds me of that as well. Castle Crashers, I think I'd put it under the same kind of vibe for some reason. I also think I would say, like, I think I'm pretty sure there's an Expendable game that looks similar to this.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
That's like a very niche, like old game, but yeah, that's what just like the meme kind of games. That with running guns, niche stuff,
Yep.
Definitely. And did you have a favorite or least favorite part of the game?
Definite favorite is all the bros, like just unlocking them. Like it's just a cool feeling every time, and the amount of them is pretty fucking sick. Like I just like each one individually. You're gonna get your classic awesome 80s, fucking action heroes to the 90s, and it's wonderful every time. So
Definitely. I think my favorite part, I already announced, I already said it, was the announcer. I just really enjoyed it. It just makes me laugh every time. So
yeah.
And then I think least favorite, I may be bold here to say, but I think that we both agree that the least favorite would probably be like the bosses, because like they made no sense.
Yeah, it was just some very, like, if you're gonna put that much effort into everything else, like, why not top the bosses off to be like those 80s iconic, like, fucking ones you'd see? Like, I don't know, make it like the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow from like Ghostbusters or something, like that would be fucking cool.
That would be
like,
wild, yeah.
right? Like, I don't know, just something,
And if we're missing something, if somebody knows what they were going for with the bosses, let us know, because we clearly do not get it. But that's okay. That's like the only. It's not even bad. It's just weird.
Right? Yeah, you just could have drawn so much more like you did with the characters that it just would have been like another over the top thing,
Definitely. How much would you recommend the game, and who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend this game to anyone who has a permit to purchase.
Holy shit! Were you allowed to leave that in? Holy shit! How long you been sitting? You were ready. Came out of that fucking shooting, bro. Holy god. Fuck. Did you come up with that on the spot?
That was
hilarious.
right there. That was right there on the spot too. Like,
oh my god. Put that on a shirt. That's their new advertising. Holy fuck. All right, well, permit to purchase if you have one of those.
Yeah, this is the game for you.
I don't even have a response. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. That's my response too. That's who I'd recommend it to as well. Also, anyone on the 4th of July would be my other response.
Yeah, this game is. Oh man, dude! If you're into America, this game is for you. Like honestly, like this game is America. So
give it to your uncle that you don't want to see at Thanksgiving. He'll enjoy it. All right. So this game is also available on Steam, Windows, Linux, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. It doesn't say anything about Xbox though, so I don't know if it's on Xbox, but I'm sure it's on pretty much everything nowadays.
Yeah.
When did this game even come out? Like 2000. We have it written down 2015. So yeah, it's probably it seems like pretty old by now, like 7, 8 years, something like that. I don't even know what year it is. It's pretty old now, so it's probably on most things. So if you're looking for this game, you could definitely pick it up for pretty much any system you could think of. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about the game, Tom?
Nah, man. I mean, this game, like I said, we've pretty much knocked as much into it, like as we could. Like it's more like what you see is what you get out of this game. Like
Well, it's
it,
an audio podcast, so what you hear is what you get.
yeah, what you hear is what you get. So if you're looking for that game just to blow off a little bit of steam, have some fun, relive some nostalgia with your favorite like action heroes and get to play a 2D action game with them, then I think you're gonna have a good amount of enjoyment out of this game.
Definitely. I completely agree with that. With that being said, guys, if you do want to pick up the game, we do have a link to the, I think I only have a link to the Switch version this time, in the show notes. If you pick it up, it does help support the podcast and gives us a little kickback. So if you're interested in picking up the game, we have the Switch version in the show notes. Otherwise, Tom, where can they find you on the internet if you want to be found?
You can find me at Tom Dykers Tattoos, almost everything, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, that kind of stuff. My link tree is right below you, and check out all my tattoos and whatnot. Also find me at Ticking Time Tom on most platforms for video game wise. So if you want to come game with me and whatnot, feel free to add me.
Awesome. And of course, I'm Shot as a Ginger. SEAN is a ginger, all one word. I make content on every single platform. And of course, my links are below. I make content daily, mostly streaming stuff. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday over on a little platform called Twitch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We are going to be back next week, as far as we know. We haven't talked about which game we're going to talk about because we're really bad at this.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a surprise. I think I like it more as a surprise for everybody, because if we don't know, you don't know, and it allows us to post cool stuff on our social medias and make you guess.
Right.
As always, guys, if you are a developer that wants to talk about your game with us, you can send us an email. Our email is blockroastpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you would like to just recommend a game, you can drop us a line on any of our socials. It's Block Roast Podcast or Block Roast Pod, one of the two. Just look up Block Roast, it'll come up. Or you can send us an email at the email I said before, blockroastpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe on everything. It helps push us out to a wider audience, and we appreciate it. Block Roast Podcast streams live to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube every Tuesday. Well, most of the time. I've been sick, so not every Tuesday, but most Tuesdays around 10:30, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to see our pretty faces, come on by. Opening music is, of course, 8-Bit Fun by the Heathley Bros. And as always, guys, Block Bros Podcast is a Lost Cause media production. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Hey.
Lost Cause Media.